May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
You are Aashna.
Yes, sir.
Lovely name. What is the meaning of your name?
Sir, it is an Urdu origin word which means beloved or companion.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you have been preparing for the civil services ever since passing out from the college.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the meanwhile, I have also started pursuing my master's in international relations. I'm doing it from South Asian University.
Okay. So apart from preparation, you are also have started pursuing studies and all.
Yes,
I
sir.
find from your DAF that you have also been attached with an NGO, Vidya.
Yes, sir.
So this is for the education of children from vulnerable sections association. Tell us something about this NGO.
Sir, NGO Vidya was established in 1985, and since then it has impacted the life of approximately 4 lakh children. It is majorly focused on the education needs of the children from the vulnerable sections especially. Also, women as well as adult literacy also forms a part of the NGO, but I was mostly associated with the education of the children.
So you are doing such a wonderful job, Aashna. Then why do you want to join the civil services? They are very general in nature.
Sir, civil services also provide you an opportunity to serve the needs of the people, but through a different way. So I would also continue doing my works with the NGO. I would also continue serving the social needs of the people, but also would like to make a change by being in the administration or being a part of the
But
administration.
if you are a part of the administration, if you are in the IAS, you will hardly be getting any time to get involved with an NGO. It's a full-time job, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you won't be able to strike a balance between the two. Anyways, so while working with NGO, according to you, what difficulties you see are faced by these children from vulnerable sections of society?
So there are various difficulties that are faced by these children. The foremost is the parental support to their educational needs. The parents are not very literate, so they are not able to support their children in their educational needs. One. Two, sir, the quality of teachers is also compromised greatly. I was working in a school in Panchsheel Park, which is one of the elite areas of Delhi, and even there, the teacher quality I found was not very appropriate. Sir, another problem facing these children is the hygiene issue and the quality of water they drink and the food that they eat. That also I found, because I was monitoring them while they were having their lunch, and I did not find it appropriate for the growth needs of those children.
What the government has done for them?
So midday meal scheme has been rolled out, but not all children are comfortable eating in the school premises.
So what could be the reason for that?
Sir, I could not probe much into this area, but the caste of the cook has been one problem. Another problem has been the children are shy taking the food. They feel that they would be judged by other children who are not taking the food, and they would be considered less privileged than those children.
Okay, what has been your personal contribution while tending to children from vulnerable section or teaching them?
So my personal contribution has been in the form of narrowing the learning gap that has been set in. Because I realized I was teaching the students of class 1 and they were not able to read a single sentence in English. So that I majorly contributed bridging this gap that has set in from the earlier classes and should have been tackled thereon.
Can you think of any other NGO in our country which is doing a human service, giving human service in this field?
Sir, NGO Sambhav is one NGO.
Okay, that's wonderful. One last question from my side. Do you think India is a patriarchal society?
Sir, sadly, yes. There have been instances lately where we have tried to get out of the clutches of patriarchy, but it is a deep-seated norm in the Indian society and has remained even today. That has been seen in the cases of acid attack where men take it upon their egos that the female is not reciprocating.
What is the way forward? What is the solution? Do you find any solution?
Sir, I think we have done, the government has been doing various programs such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, which are targeting the nudge component or the behavioral component. Awareness is one thing that we need to target in these cases. Not only women, but men should also be made stakeholders in these awareness programs. The education, we should target patriarchy right at the educational levels, right at the nascent levels. These could be some of the approaches that can be taken care of. Also, the female role models can be encouraged.
Do you think giving financial freedom to women will really help us in removing this patriarchal system?
Yes, sir, definitely, because the empowerment of women leads to their financial independence and independence in other spheres of life as well. So when we see independent women moving forward in society without the crutches that is the men, then I think it would really make an impact.
Okay, thank you.
Hello Aashna, how are you?
Hello sir, I'm good.
Aashna, we'll have some discussion emanating from the institutions you have attended or you're attending. You did your BA Honours English from LSR.
Yes.
Is that the case? And you have taken anthropology as your optional.
Yes, sir.
Anthropologically speaking, do you believe that all women institutions, they enhances the sexism in the society, or do you believe that they help in eradicating it?
Sir, I would say I believe they help in eradicating it by providing equal opportunity to the gender that has been historically disadvantaged.
I understand it being happening in say in Pulakua or
Yes.
Other places, but metropolitan like ours,
Yes.
isn't it a place where our institution should be more gender neutral? You end up studying with from the male teachers.
Yes, sir.
So why not have your colleagues, your friends also from all genders?
Sir, I would like to take you back to the historical to the times when the institute was established. It was in 1956, right after independence, when female literacy was very low. So, sir, I would say when it was established, there was a need for women-only institutes so as to encourage women to attend them more. Also today, even in the metropolitan cities, we see clutches of patriarchy, especially women not attending many STEM courses, how they are disadvantaged in society. Delhi is also called the rape capital. So yes, women are disadvantaged in a lot of ways, and to provide assurance to the parents as well as assurance to the women that these spaces are exclusively for them and these spaces provide a very nurturing and a safe environment for them, I think that helps in...
But in turn, it deprives its own students of the kind of a training and exposure they'll get, for example, a counterpart college like SRCC, isn't it?
Yes, sir. There are some disadvantages associated as well.
You're studying international relation. You also studied English literature. Both the subjects were available for UPSC mains.
Yes.
You end up taking something else. Why?
Sir, that is because I wanted to explore diverse fields during the course of my preparation. I did not choose literature because 60% of the syllabus of UPSC coincided with what I had already studied at my graduation level. So it was getting very repetitive. Also, international relations I ended up taking after I chose anthropology as my optional.
Recently, a social progress index was talked about. Can you tell me who releases it in our country? And how is it different from the international social progress index that's there for quite some time now?
I'm sorry, sir, I cannot recall who releases it in India, but if I may make a guess, I would say, is it Niti Aayog?
You can look at it, but tell me what are the components of it and how is it different from the international social SPI we talk about?
Sir, I don't have much
What are the
idea.
components of the SPI?
Sir, I don't have much idea, but they should be related to education, health, skill development.
How your state is performing in it? UP?
Sir, UP in terms of fertility rate has not been performing very well. The total fertility rate is still 2.7 while the national fertility rate is 2.0. Also,
And fertility rate is important component of SPI.
sir, it should
You've
be.
been working with the NGO in the similar sector as SPI.
Yes, sir.
You don't talk about it. You like jogging.
Yes, sir.
How is it different from running?
Sir, it is a slower version of running.
And walking?
Sir, walking is yet more slow.
Okay, can you give me how much will be walking and running and
Sir,
jogging?
Sir, in jogging, I cover around 3 kilometers in 20 minutes. In running, I would be able to cover 3 kilometers in around 14 to 15 minutes. And in walking, it would be around 25 to 27 minutes.
How will the benefit differ in these three forms?
Sir, running is a more intense form. Not everyone can run. I am one of those people who get tired very easily when I run. So there is a great energy loss when you run. Whereas in jogging, there is some form of energy conservation. But it gives benefits more or less similar to jogging, to running. Also, sir, in terms of walking, it's a very slow form. It also provides good benefits, but the benefits are progressively more in terms of jogging as well as running. But I do not prefer running because it exhausts me more faster as compared to jogging.
Recently, there were news after news of people getting heart attacks while doing exercise like running or the gymming and all.
Yes.
Do you believe that it's a normal thing that's been happening, or there is something more than that?
So there is something unusual about it. Many people have also cited pre-workouts as one of the reasons for these heart attacks. When people take pre-workout and they do not get tired very easily, but the body gets tired and they do not feel it. So that could be cited as one of the reasons for a greater number of heart attacks while working out. Also, sir, when you do intensive workout and the heart rate goes really up. So one reason could be that as well.
But these things cannot be recent happenings. People must be doing these mistakes all through ages. Then why we are having so much news nowadays?
Sir, one reason could be the visibility factor. That there has been a recent focus on why this is happening, also because this has happened with the celebrities as well, a few celebrities. So a visibility factor could be one reason that these are coming more in news and we are seeing these news more. Another factor could be the weather changes, the climate changes that are really compromising our immunities. So our targeted research has not been conducted on this. So we need to delve more into the reasons why this is happening.
Thank you, Aashna.
Thank you, sir.
Aashna, you have stayed in Udaipur also for a few years.
Yes, sir.
Who got constructed that famous lake of Udaipur?
Sir, Maharaja Uday Singh too.
Are you sure?
Fateh Sagar Lake, yes, sir.
And is it not older than the Maharajas in Udaipur?
Sir, the lake is older than the Maharajas, but the construction that has happened, for instance, the pavement and the walling of the lake, that has been done by Maharaja Uday Singh too and subsequent Maharajas as well.
So who should be given the credit for digging that lake? It's not a natural lake, it's an artificial lake.
Yes, sir.
Who got the lake dug first?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, you're a student of anthropology and some tribal kings were associated with that lake.
Okay, sir. I will look it up, sir.
Okay. Which tribal population is the largest in terms of population in India?
Sir,
Gonds or Bhils?
Sir, it is the Santhals.
Santhals?
Yes.
What's the population?
Sir, I don't know the exact population. I'm sorry.
Okay. What about population of Gonds?
Sir, the Central Indian tribes are relatively higher in concentration. The Gonds are also pretty much higher in population as compared to the other tribes in the northeastern parts or the southern parts of the country.
And what's the difference between this Bhil tribe and Meena tribe?
So the Bhil tribe is generally found in the central Indian parts and the Meena tribe is generally found in the western parts. For instance, Meena tribe is found in Rajasthan and the Bhil tribe is found in Madhya Pradesh. Sir, also in Gujarat. So the Bhil tribe is quite, in terms of population, it is quite widespread, whereas the Meena tribe is a little locale specific.
Is Meena a subgroup of Bhil?
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. What's their contribution? What is the contribution of tribal society in Indian economy?
So the tribal society has influenced Indian economy in varied ways, both positive as well as negative. So in terms of positively influencing the Indian economy, the Uttar Pradesh government's initiatives such as One District, One Product comes from the traditional art work that these tribes have been doing, and now these are commercialized. In terms of their negative influence comes the very debatable shifting cultivation, wherein the trees are felled down and they are burnt as well, contributing to the air pollution and various other related disadvantages.
And what is the occupational structure generally of the tribal people? What kind of occupations they basically engage themselves?
Sir, the tribal people have traditionally been the pastoralists, the hunter-gatherers, but now they have come to shifting cultivators as well, but now they have come to adapt to the modern economy as well. We find artisanal class as well among the tribals. We find the snake charmers among the tribals. We find the performers, the performing artists in the tribals such as the Kalbelia tribe, and now we also find the industry workers as well as the agricultural workers among these tribes.
As a student of English literature, have you found stories of tribal Indians in any of the major works?
Yes, sir. There have been various stories. There was, I cannot recall the name of the book, but we had a book by a Gond tribal, and it basically showed the paintings of the Pardhan Gond tribe as well.
Did you read any of the novels of George Orwell?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Sir, 1984.
Okay. Any other?
No, sir.
E.M. Foster's
A Passage to India.
Have you read that?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reference in that book to some tribal people?
Sir, I read it long back. I cannot recall.
Okay. Nice, Aashna. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aashna.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, how much are you connected with your roots?
Ma'am, I would say I try to be connected to them. Though I have lived outside outside Pilakwa for quite a long time, but I have reconnected with it during the time of the COVID and have been there. And I've also tried to understand the local culture and how the industrial connect that Pilakwa gives as well.
Okay. Supposedly you are posted in some rural area. So what kind of challenges do you think you will have to face?
Ma'am, the first challenge would emanate from the health challenges, health-related depravity and the resistance of the doctors to work in the rural areas. The second, I would say, would be related to education.
No, your personal challenges as an officer.
As an officer. Ma'am, I would say I wouldn't face much challenges as an officer living in the rural areas, because I have lived in a small town till around 14 years of my life. I've lived in my place, which is a small town. So I don't think I would face much challenges. I think I would be able to adapt.
Okay, what's the difference between living in a small town and you have spent so much time in a metropolitan city like Delhi?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a stark contrast between the two, where in a metropolitan city like Delhi, the taste of freedom is what attracts me. Whereas in the small towns, we are a little restricted. There is a close-knit community and we have to take care whether we are not hurting the sentiments of the people there. Whereas in metropolitan city, we can actually engage more easily, adapt more easily. So this is one major difference. Another is the infrastructural difference, of course. In order to commute within the town, it is very difficult. But to commute in a city, it is very easy because of the metros, because of the buses, because of the good roads. So infrastructural differences there as well.
Okay. So your optional has been anthropology.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, why is that we are the only species in our genus? Where are our sister or brother species?
Ma'am, there is a widespread theory that there has been an assimilation of these species within the Homo sapiens species. There has been an a reproduction, an internal reproduction between these species, and that has led to an assimilation of the other species with Homo sapiens. For instance, the Neanderthals, they have been assimilated within the Homo sapiens. There is a widespread theory like that.
There are other theories also.
Yes, ma'am. The other theories say that the other species could not develop because of the over specialization of their features. There is one more theory that talks about the brain body ratio of Neanderthals being very high, and this is why they went extinct, whereas the Homo sapiens could survive. Another one is the clashes between the Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals. So there are various theories.
Recently, one more species was found. What was it?
Ma'am, Denisova.
Yes, that's another. In China, it was found.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I haven't delved deeper into that domain.
Okay, fine. So tell me, you have completed your graduation long back. What are you doing since then?
Ma'am, after my graduation, I have done an online course on globalization and theatre. I have also started doing my masters from 2021 onwards. So these are the things that I have done apart from the UPSC preparation.
Okay, which one is your favorite theatre? Any play or anything?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have read Shakespeare, so Macbeth is what I like. I've also written a research paper on one kind of theatre, which is Bhavna theatre from Assam, that developed under the aegis of Shankar Dev, Saint Shankar Dev.
And who is the father of theatre in India?
Ma'am, Bharat Muni.
Thank you, Aashna.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ashna, you must have heard about program Manrega.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell me some of the issues that Manrega is still reeling because of certain actions by the government?
Ma'am, the very widespread or the most quoted issue with Manrega is the delay in wage payment. Another one is that there has not been a technical backing, wherein the government has talked about the biometric attendance system. Steps have not been taken care to provide a technical backup for them. Ma'am, there are other problems such as the release of funds, the digging up of the resources for the digging up of the pits or the community related work.
You lack
so social issues is one area where I really lack.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, another one would be the public policy and understanding the challenges of the public policy.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I need to furnish a little more on international affairs as well.
Because a lot of questions will be asked. This is my premonition that when you go for the interview, a lot of questions will be asked on international affairs. And one related question will definitely be, when you are so much passionate about the international affairs, then why did you not choose Indian Foreign Service as your first preference? That you could anticipate and frame your answer in a better way.
Okay, sir.
Okay, diversity is very generalized, and you can't be saying that Indian Foreign Service doesn't give you diversity. You go from one continent to another continent, deal with lots of issues, not only foreign affairs.
Yes, sir.
It is nation to nation interaction on various levels. A lot of economic issues, social issues, environmental issues are discussed. So you can't be saying that just you represent the country, that's it. You represent the country, the ethos of country goes along with you.
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it? So that answer, I mean, you could reframe it in a different way, but that argument may not hold water.
Okay,
That is what I want to say. And by and large, you are a wonderful candidate. Let me start with that. You are a wonderful candidate for civil services. Which attempt is this for you?
Sir, third.
Third attempt. And first at the interview?
First interview, sir.
First interview. So if you have done well in your written paper, you will be doing very well in this thing.
Thank you, sir.
Question which we didn't ask you, why not English literature? Why did you opt for Anthro?
Anthro.
So that question is a very hackneyed question, may be asked. Okay, because you have a core area is English literature. Then when you entered, and let me go into details now.
Yes, sir.
When you entered, your entry was slightly tentative. It should have been more smarter,
Okay.
faster pace.
Yes, sir.
and then stand and seek permission.
Okay,
So
sir.
it was a sort of a very casual kind of a walk.
Yes,
It should be very smart.
all
Okay.
right, sir.
Otherwise, you have all the good qualities of a civil servant.
Thank you, sir.
Your body language is very positive. Your communication skill is very good,
Thank you, sir.
and you did not get into argument with the board members. That is very important. You have to be patient while listening to the questions
Yes, sir.
and try to understand the intent of the question and answer accordingly. While answering, try to be as crisp as possible, as brief as possible.
Okay, sir.
The more you speak, the more problems you invite for yourself.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so be crisp unless and until a counter question is asked on that, and then try to be honest in your approach.
Yes, sir.
Don't enter into the area of guesswork. At times, it appeared to us probably you tried to enter in the area of guesswork. Then, regarding books and all that, E.M. Forster, George Orwell, if you have read it, then only you should say.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
just for the sake of saying it, because we have also heard
Yes, sir.
1984 is there, but if I have not read it, you can simply say, yes, I have heard about that book, but I have not studied it properly, because you should anticipate the moment you say yes, there will be a counter question.
Yes, sir.
So if you are confident of answering, replying to that, you should.
Okay, sir.
NGO is you have shown that you have worked with NGO, and that too in the area of education.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a vast area.
Yes,
So
sir.
prepare fully on that.
Okay.
How the NGOs work, what was your contribution, what the government has been doing, and all that, and what is, as an administrator, how can you contribute your might to the growth of NGOs without affecting your own work, isn't it? That is all right. And then prepare a lot of time, prepare more on your district, on your state. What are the issues your state is facing? What are the problems of the district? Because you see, you come from a public school background.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
DPS is there, LSR is there, isn't it? So
Yes,
some
sir.
sort of elitist element is there in your education.
Yes, sir.
So, and India is predominantly a rural country. So you may be going to the remote areas of the country and serving the society there, whether you yourself will feel comfortable or not. So try to make a solid background for that, a solid case for that. Pilakua and all that, maybe questions may be asked from your, read more on that.
Okay, sir.
I think otherwise a wonderful person, no guesswork, no argument,
Yes, sir.
no unnecessary guessing, again repeating it, perfect body language, positive body language, smiling face and confident looking face, patient listener, and excellent in communication skill. You will do wonders.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any specific questions you have, feel free to ask.
No, sir.
All the best to you.
Thank
All
you,
the
sir.
best.
The most important evolutionary marker for the humans to evolve and have a dominance over other species.
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good
Please
afternoon.
be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, I am Laghima Tiwari. I was born in Alwar, Rajasthan. Thereafter, I was schooled and brought up in Delhi. I went on to do my electronics and communication engineering from Delhi Technological University, and I completed it in 2021. Thereafter, I gave my first attempt at UPSC in 2022. Sir, my interest lies in making best out of waste craft objects, portrait sketching, and watching sitcoms.
Laghima, your name is very interesting. What does it mean?
Sir, actually Laghima is one of the Asht Siddhis or 8 spiritual abilities. Its literal meaning is lightness of the body and mind, so that one can freely float in the air. But in much deeper sense, it also means that you have certain amount of lightness and laughter in life.
What are other 7 siddhis?
Sir, other 7 are Anima, Garima, Mahima, Ishitva, Vashitva, Prakimya and Prapti.
Excellent, excellent. Laghima, you are basically an electronics and communication engineer and opted for a humanities subject like anthro. Why a science student should opt or engineering student should opt for a subject like anthro?
Sir, my first reason was, sir, electronics and communication engineering is not offered as optional by UPSC, and instead electrical engineering is being given. So secondly, I opted anthropology because I think it plays on my strengths, because I had a biology background in 11th and 12th standard. So I started with physical anthropology, and slowly I developed an interest in it as I started reading socio-cultural and other parts of anthropology too.
Okay, anthropology, how much it has affected your life, study of anthropology, the understanding of society?
Sir, firstly, it has induced within me certain sense of cultural sensitivity. I am better able to appreciate other cultures and other practices, especially of tribal cultures. It has allowed me to understand the various demographies and in fact the rural structure of our Indian society. And it has also allowed me to lastly bring about certain amount of culture ecology field, which states that sensitivity towards the environment, as it states that humans are also another part of environment like other animals. So sir.
Okay, Lagma, you must be aware that the dowry system is one of the biggest evils in the society and eating into the vitals of our society. Now, as a student of anthro, tell me, how has the practice of dowry evolved over time in India, and what role does it play in the lives of Indian women?
So firstly, sir, dowry as a practice is practiced in a very small percentage of population, and the bride price, which is the reverse of dowry, is more prevalent worldwide. But in India, the caste system has to do with promoting the dowry, because in India, the upper caste women are not allowed to marry to lower caste men. So in such cases, the choices with women, they decrease, and in order to get a suitable groom, a dowry practice was promoted. Sir, regarding, sir, can you please repeat the second part?
How it has affected the lives of Indian women?
Sir, firstly, it has an impact, as in it has decreased women's value as a commercial property, which impacts their dignity. So secondly, it has increased financial burden on households, which has promoted child marriages and denied women right to education. So third, early marriages also have impact on health of the woman, which early pregnancies. So sir, in these ways.
Suppose you get into the Indian Administrative Service, Lagima, then how are you going to handle a sensitive issue like dowry?
So first of all, I think while legal aspects are there, but social change is also the need of the hour. So sir, my first step will be to mobilize local institutions like Gram Panchayats and Anganwadis and take help from them to spread mass awareness. So secondly, educate girls and as well as their families. So because it is noticed that when girls are educated, they are less prone to give dowry. So thirdly, if need be, I'll also use the legal aspects which the law allows me to overcome the issue.
Do you think it is possible for us to change mindset of our people?
Sir, I think it is certainly possible to change the mindset. It is a long process and it can be done slowly. And various steps can be taken to nudge people's behavior, from incentives to penalties. And in long term, it will happen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Laghima, you come from Alwar, that means you were born in Alwar.
Yes, sir.
According to a recent decision of the Rajasthan government, many more new districts are going to be created. How many?
So 19 more.
And do you think this is a logical decision?
Sir, this decision will surely have a positive impact, and it is based on a committee report. As in, sir, it has taken into account that certain areas within a district were more than 100 kilometers from district headquarters, and it will aid in regional development and ease of access of administration to the citizens. Sir, but that being said, there are concerns that it will also increase fiscal expenditure of the government. So, sir, in my opinion, it is largely a positive decision, and we should also work on strengthening the local institutions like Gram Panchayats for further impact.
So the total count of districts would increase to what?
50, sir.
So we have at the moment 31 districts?
So 33 districts.
So 33 plus 19.
Yes, sir. Sir, but actually, sir, two districts, that is Jaipur and Jodhpur, they have been segregated into two. So we remove two, Jaipur and Jodhpur, and add 4.
Okay. So, and you are residing mostly in Delhi. So hopefully you have developed emotional connect with Delhi. How many districts Delhi is divided into?
Sir, Delhi is divided into 7, or sir, I am forgetting. Sorry, sir.
You have yet to develop emotional connect.
Sir, it is slipping my mind right now.
Okay. So of course, if you don't remember the number of districts, you will not be knowing the number of villages in Delhi.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Population of Delhi?
Sir, population is around 20 million.
And sex ratio in Delhi?
Sir, 868 per 1000 male, according to 2011.
And Rajasthan sex ratio?
Sir, 928.
Why the sex ratio in Delhi is so low?
Sir, the primary reason is Delhi is home to a large number of migrant population, and as male members are more prone to migration for economic opportunities. So that is why, sir.
Okay. So do you think this kind of counting method is logical? Because it gives a wrong, misleading impression about a region.
Sir, it certainly gives a wrong impression, as in case of Delhi and even other metropolitan cities. But sir, it is the need of the hour, as in, sir, when we conduct census, so census requires us to count the people where they are currently resident. And sir, it can be taken as a positive thing.
Do you think we should separately also estimate sex ratio in parliament?
Sir, sex ratio in parliament, sir, it is known that there are 15% of women MPs in parliament, in Lok Sabha particularly.
But sex ratio is not the method to count.
Yes, sir.
We don't count in percent.
Yes, sir.
So if let's say percentage of women in parliament is 15, what will be the figure of sex ratio in parliament?
Sir, it will be around 0.15 into 530 or 550.
Okay.
And sir, that will be around less than 11. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. And according to a recent projection, sex ratio in India has exceeded 1000. Are you aware of the latest figure?
Yes, sir. It is according to NFHS 5 that 1020 females are there.
So overall, it is a good news or not so good news?
Sir, I feel NFHS 5 survey is done on a smaller scale and it is not a true representative of the real sex ratio. So while it shows that we are moving in a positive direction, but census figures can give a more accurate picture.
Okay. For last 2 decades, we are talking about various possibilities and concerns of demographic dividend and demographic nightmare. Now, according to the recent events in the social space, don't you think that the demographic nightmare is reflecting increasingly in urban setups?
Sir, demographic dividend or nightmare, as you said, sir. Sir, it is a matter of how we use our demography. So, sir, if we invest in positive things like health and education, it can turn into a demographic dividend. But, sir, your concern, as you mentioned, we are currently lacking in such opportunities for large part of population, though certain positive steps have been taken. But we are working on the same direction to further improve access to education, health, skills. And I am positive, sir, that in the coming years, we'll be able to tap our demographic dividend.
My final question. Do you think that in recent times, the political leadership has also misled the adolescent class of citizens into socially undesirable activities, and that is having very indecent reflection of their behavior, also the websites and on digital media?
Sir, I'm not able to understand the...
Political leadership is misled the adolescent people in India, those who are in the age of group of 13, 14, 18, 19, and their behavioral reflection on the different social media growing increasingly indecent, violating the freedom of speech and expression.
Sir, what I understand, sir, it can be because education to a larger extent in today's adolescent people, the quality of education has been decreasing and the exposure to social media, it has been increasing. So that can be one reason, and social media is largely unregulated. So that can be one reason why such indecent remarks by adolescents are prevalent in social media sites.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Laghima, good to know that you work on waste to create the best.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us one particular creation which is very dear to you.
Sir, I created artificial grapes from used foil paper, aluminium foil and black polythene bags. So, sir, that is one creation.
Okay. So, in how it has improved your creativity by doing such activities, how it has improved your creativity?
Sir, firstly, it allows me the innovative space to think how I can use waste resources. So, secondly, I can make more optimal utilization of resources which are at hand and create best out of it. So thirdly, it has also increased my observation skills and attention to detail. And it also requires a large amount of precision. So sir, in these ways.
That's really good. So if you have to make a recipe for innovation in governance, what will be it like?
So firstly, the use of digital technology, that is e-governance, and make digital technology more user-friendly and accessible to people. So secondly, empowering the people through social participation, social auditing. So thirdly, easing the or simplification of the governance structure so that the time or the red tapeism which is currently there and even the corruption issues, they are addressed.
Okay, fine. You are from Delhi. Tell us the biggest socio-economic problem of Delhi. One single biggest socio-economic problem.
Sir, the existence of slum clusters in Delhi.
Okay, so what is your solution to this problem?
So firstly, I will see if the slum regions are tenable or untenable. If they are tenable, I will promote in situ rehabilitation under Waha Makan scheme of the government. So secondly, if the slums are untenable, then I will ensure that before relocation, there is arrangements made for rehabilitation to the nearest possible location so that their employment opportunities are not impacted adversely.
Okay, good. Recently in Russia-Ukraine war, MiG-29 is in news. Why?
Sir, I have limited knowledge, but MiG-29 is an aircraft that has been given to Ukraine.
By?
By, sir, I'm not sure, but I will like to attempt.
Yeah.
By Poland, sir.
Yeah, you are right. Poland has given 4 MiG-29s. Huh? What is your take on this? This is the first time aircraft has been given to Ukraine in this scenario. How will it shape up the war?
Sir, in my opinion, military solution is not the answer to the Ukraine-Russia war, and we should look to a diplomatic solution because it has been 1 year since the war began, and we have seen that Russia has failed to impose its will on Ukraine, and Ukraine has also not able to change the status quo despite its attempt. So we should understand that military solution will only escalate the war and will not end it. So diplomatic solution, engaging in more talks, and the international community should play a greater role in this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Laghima, what is the difference between race and ethnicity, and is race actually a concept if you look at it from biological point of view?
Ma'am, according to anthropology and biologically, there are 3 main races, Caucasoids and Negroids. I'm forgetting the third one. And ma'am, but ethnicity is a different concept from race because ethnicity is more related to the ethnic composition, and it is more related to the which area or geographical area, which culture you belong to.
Right.
And ma'am, with regards to if race is a valid concept biologically, ma'am, there are proofs which shows that certain features of our body like the nasal index and the melanin composition, they are there which differentiates between the races. But that being said, ma'am, we have come a long way and there has been a lot of hybridization. So race is not such a valid concept right now due to large number of hybridization.
With respect to ethnicity, there are 2 concepts. There is primordialist school of thought and instrumentalist school of thought. What do the schools say?
I'll have to read more about it.
Okay, no problem. which happens to be the most important evolutionary marker for the humans to evolve and have a dominance over other species?
Ma'am, in my opinion, it will be bipedalism as well as increase in our brain size.
Okay. What is speciesism?
Speciation.
Not speciation, speciesism.
Sorry, ma'am, I'll have to read.
Okay, what is speciation?
Ma'am, speciation, it refers to that over a long period of time due to microevolution. When it accumulates, it gives rise to a whole another species, and that process is called speciation.
Okay, and what are the other ways through which this evolution takes place? One is speciation, there are two more ways.
And one can be due to mutation. Another I cannot recall.
Okay, no problem. You were talking about that you're fond of utilizing waste into something useful. Out of all the renewable energy thing that we have right now, there is waste to energy also. Can you tell me what is its installed capacity right now, and what are the different ways through which we are converting waste to energy?
Ma'am, currently at an all India level, I am not able to recall, but in Delhi itself, there are 4 plants which are converting waste to energy. And the process which is used is incineration and pyrolysis, in which waste is burnt and the heat produced is used to run turbine which produces electricity.
Right. Is there a difference between pyrolysis and incineration?
Ma'am, in pyrolysis, oxygen quantity is it is in the absence of oxygen or in limited supply of oxygen, whereas in incineration there is oxygen.
Okay. When we look at India as a civilization, and when we look at the tribal culture, and for that matter even the Vedic society, we see in our scriptures also and in our day-to-day practices that we have had a very close association with environment. We have stayed, you know, our festivals, our books, our stories, everything revolves around environment. But in certain years after the medieval period, we seem to have wandered away from environment, and so much so that now we are decimating environment over other developmental needs. Why do you think that such a shift has happened? And from here onwards, is there a way that we can go back to our previous way of living?
Ma'am, as you rightly mentioned, from past we have close relationship environment, and such a shift has happened due to various reasons. First of all, ma'am, there has been a change in lifestyle due to increased urbanization, and we are associating more value to products like plastic, and they have more utility which impacts the environment negatively. Ma'am, secondly, people since have moved out from their native villages, they have also lost contact with the environment, and the urban lifestyle, as I said, it further alienates them. Ma'am, with regards to if we'll be able to go back, ma'am, I hope so it will happen, and the initiatives like lifestyle for environment, they are a positive step in this direction. Various other initiatives like circular economy and reuse and 3 Rs, which it will further promote it.
Okay. Thank you, Laghima.
Thank you, ma'am.
Laghima, your optional is anthropology, right? So in the post-independence period, right, most of the neighbors of India, like they more of, went into an authoritarian kind of governance, while the democracy thrived in India. So one of the many reasons given by the, social scientists is that it is basically the caste, which actually strengthened the democracy in India. How far do you agree with this view that caste strengthened and thrived the, democracy in India?
So caste is a strong factor in politics and democracy, and there is politicization of caste also. But so largely, I do not think that caste was the sole factor, and there were other factors like presence of institutions like executive, legislature and judiciary, and the will of the people, most importantly, the larger society and even the political leadership which sustained democracy.
What about the mobilization of people? So because in a traditional society, caste was actually where people could actually relate to. Well, they were not known to the modern ideas at that point of time.
So caste politics, especially in North India, has been a tool for mobilization. And it has had its positive impact as in to bring more people into political contact. But so largely relating caste to politics can have negative consequences which will outweigh its positive impact. And though it has been an enabler, but I think, sir, in long term, India has sustained again democracy due to the will of the people.
Okay. So in the present scenario, you see budget session, or in the past also, we see a lot of disruption in working of the Indian Parliament, right? And we see often a lot of chaos in the Parliament. So what would you suggest to have a healthy democracy in India and to realize the the basic ideals of deliberative democracy? What do you suggest in this regard?
So firstly, the opposition should be constructive in its criticism, and the ruling party should also take criticism in a healthy spirit. That will ensure that there are debates and a productive use of parliament. So secondly, some sorts of technologies like productivity meter can be used, and the regular dissemination of the same information to the public, so that parliament is held more accountable to the people. So third, tools like giving training to new members of parliament, and even suggesting actions against the members who are disrupting the parliament should be taken in a fast track manner, so that a deterrent is created.
See, a new concept, or a very the recent concept of blue economy, is gaining pace, and the initiatives are being taken at many levels, whether at national or international. So tell me about the concept of blue economy.
So blue economy refers to using water resources as well as the biodiversity for economic use, and creating an economy based on fisheries and navigation and other such things.
Can you tell about India's initiatives that integrate the concept of blue economy?
Sir, one initiative is PM Matsya Sampada Yojana. Sir, apart from this, international collaboration with Norway, with the Scandinavian countries to promote blue economy.
Thank you.
Laghima, what is the role of women education in the context of population control?
Sir, I feel it will have a greater role. Firstly, sir, when women are educated, they have more tilt towards economic opportunities, which delays their marriage age, which can have an impact on population control. So secondly, they can more make informed choice, informed decision. So sir, this will also help control population.
Then why is that female contraceptions are more prevalent in our country than male contraceptions?
Sir, it shows that the burden of family planning comes on women traditionally, and male counterparts are not held responsible for family planning. So secondly, it is due to the reason it is considered that women's unpaid labor is of lesser value than men's paid labor, which is the reason of such an issue.
What do you mean by patriarchy?
So patriarchy, it refers to that men are in the control, and the head of the family is men, and the hierarchy also transfers from one generation to another generation in the male line.
Do you think that financial independence of women is not enough for changing patriarchal mindset?
So financial independence is just one enabler which will help change patriarchal mindset, but other things like support from male counterparts and increased education, health opportunities and access to resources are also important.
Okay, thank you very much, Laghima. It was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Come in. Sit down, Laghima.
Thank you, sir.
Laghima, this is going to be your first interview at the UPSC.
Yes, sir.
And which attempt is this?
First attempt, sir.
Very first attempt.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. How have you done in your mains?
Sir, I think and hope that it is good.
And how was your today's experience?
Sir, I think I lack revision in some areas, especially my optional anthropology.
But overall, what was the overall assessment of your performance?
Sir, I think I have done better and it was not my best performance, and I was initially nervous, but I was able to overcome it. But again, I could have framed better answers to some of the questions, especially related to anthropology.
Your interview is on
18th April.
18th. A lot of time is there. Lagma, let me tell you at the outset that you are an outstanding candidate, a wonderful candidate to talk to interact with, and we asked you questions on variety of issues, and the way you attempted to answer those questions speaks volumes about your intellectual qualities and your qualities of head and heart.
Thank you, sir.
So with these words, we will discuss the details of today's progress. So be your natural self, be what you are, and try to answer the questions to the best of your abilities. While answering questions, make sure you didn't do it today. Just as a piece of advice I am giving you, when you go for the interview, make sure that you stay honest throughout the interview session. Honesty is very important for a prospective civil servant. So honesty in your personal integrity and honesty of purpose means while answering, try to answer to the best of your abilities. And number two, never ever get into the area of conjectures and surmises. If you don't know, it doesn't matter. But wherever you know, collect your thoughts, conjure up your ideas, and then give answers in your own style, prioritizing the importance of your arguments. Quickly, you can do that. Your communication skill is excellent. So far, in half an hour time, we could see that your opinion is also very balanced on various issues. You are absolutely a non-argumentative girl. That is a very good quality in you. So whenever, suppose you are faced with a situation where you can give some out-of-the-box thinking, some unique ideas, think of that and go for that. Okay, because you see you are basically an electronics engineer.
Yes, sir.
And opted for anthropology. We did not ask you any questions on the electronics field due to paucity of time, but prepare yourself thoroughly for that. What India has done in the field of electronics till date, and what is required to be done in future to ensure that India becomes a global power in this field. So electronics, whatever policy decisions the government has taken, you should have complete knowledge of that, particularly with reference to your chips and semiconductors.
Yes, sir.
You should be fully aware of that. Second issue, you are a girl partly from Delhi, partly from Rajasthan because of your longer stay in Delhi. What are the issues of Delhi? You should be fully familiar with, along with what are the suggestions to tide over those issues. So one such issue was pollution, where this waste to energy questions were asked. So you should be aware of the landfills, where are it located in Delhi, how much each landfill is generating energy, kind of energy you have very clearly mentioned, that is very good. Then G20 is also there. So what preparations have been done by the government of Delhi and the central government for Delhi summit, and what are the various other aspects of G20? You should have a bird's eye view of that also. Women's safety concerns, another concern for Delhi, that is pollution, as I told you. So in the pollution also, what is AQI, that you should know. What are the different levels of AQI? What are the different stages of this thing? Monuments of Delhi, another important thing. And which area you stay in Delhi?
Sir, Chhatarpur.
Chhatarpur area, South Delhi, I believe,
Yes,
isn't it? So South Delhi, do you see any difference in Delhi itself? There is a general perception that the girls of South Delhi are more elitist compared to the North Delhi or Eastern Delhi. Do you subscribe to this view? You have to give your arguments for or against, whatever it suits you. So Delhi, you should prepare thoroughly. And one thing more, you're born on 5th August.
Yes, sir.
What is the importance of 5th August? Are you aware?
Yes, sir.
What is the importance? Tell me.
Sir, firstly, sir, on 5th August, the Article 370 was revoked in
Wonderful.
2019.
Wonderful.
And sir, in 2020, Ram Janmabhoomi Temple was also inaugurated on 5th August.
Okay. Anything in 1947 or so?
Sir, sir, I remember Indo-Chinese War was started.
The princely states were also acceded to the.
Okay, sir. I was not aware, sir.
So just note down and go back and check on this. Okay. Then you will get confirmation also. And why we are not investing on R&D and all that. So those issues are related to electronics, you must be aware. And women-centric issues and all that, because you don't have the experience of working in the rural area, spending time in the rural area. So how do you think you are the best person to have a hands on the pulses of the rural Indian women? So otherwise you are a wonderful person and you will be getting very good marks. And if you are really happy with your performance in the mains examination, you will be in the list of selected candidates. Not only the list, you will be ranking very high in the list of selected candidates. All the best from our side. If you have any specific question to ask, feel free to ask.
Sir, I wanted to ask one question. I was not able to understand sir's question on social media and politics relation with respect to adolescent children.
Okay, I repeated the question. My question was that, do you feel that present leadership, some political leaders, for their own political gains, are mobilizing the adolescents and they are nurturing and encouraging them to resort to indecent behaviors?
Okay, sir.
Basically, it was also a sociological question, whether these politicians are using these adolescents to their advantage or not.
Okay, sir.
That was the sum and substance of the question. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If you don't understand, ask the concerned board member in a most humble way. Sir, I couldn't appreciate the intent of the questions. For my benefit, could you repeat it, sir? And that occasion should be very far and few. Every third question you can't be going back. So you have to be a patient listener also. Try to understand intent of the question. But anyways, if you find yourself in that kind of a situation, ask politely the intent of the question. So when I repeat the same question, then I make it simpler. Isn't this generally what happens? Otherwise, when you go for the interview board is very cordial. They will never be, no one will be intimidating. Nobody will have a hostile attitude towards you. The board will try to extract best out of you and give your best. Okay.
And
anything else?
This is last question, sir. I was not able to recall certain factual questions, very simple ones, sir. So, sir, how much impact can it have?
It doesn't matter. Try to remember, because having come to this stage, having cleared two biggest hurdles of UPSC examination, at this stage, you have to be very, very attentive. So, keep agitating your mind, keep agitating your brain, and when you go for the interview, forget about all other things. Just concentrate, focus on the interview part of it, and you will do well. Don't brood over uncertainties. Just go for it. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Please tell us something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Mamta Yadav. I am from Delhi. I have done my schooling from Balwant Rai Mehta Vidya Bhavan in Delhi. Then I did my BSc in Physics Honours from Hindu College, University of Delhi. After that, I appeared for CSE 2019 and currently I am undergoing training as an IRPS officer.
You are IRPS officer already?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are happy with your service?
Yes, sir.
What are the services you are looking in this attempt?
Sir, I have filled my preferences are IAS, then IRS Income Tax, then IRS Customs and Central Excise, then sir, Indian Police Service and Indian Foreign Service.
Why you have such a distaste for Indian Police Service and Foreign Service? That you're willing to become, despite a physics graduate, willing to become a account babu in revenue services of income tax and excise, rather than becoming a dynamic police officer or a dynamic diplomat?
So there is no distaste. I just felt that given my inclination, I would be preferring the taxation side of civil services than law and order.
Why would a physics student will even think about it? You'll be spending 30 years, 35 years sitting in front of a laptop and looking for errors here and there.
So it was my personal preference for revenues over police and foreign.
But why not foreign services? Smart people like you studied from Vidya Bhavan, you studied from Hindu college. You obviously carry those attributes which require to represent nation, and there is definitely a pride in representing nation.
Yes, sir. But sir, still I had from since I started preparing for civil services, I had a lot of inclination after IAS for revenue. Even last year also I filled my second and third as revenue services only. So because I felt that even revenue services will give me a chance to represent India at international platforms, for example WTO, and that also is becoming an important aspect of international affairs given the importance of economy.
What exactly is the rationale or justification or authority that state has to collect revenue? What is the source?
Sir, it is the constitution itself, and in the...
No, it's not about India only. Every nation collects revenue.
Yes, sir.
What is the source? Why state is authorized to collect revenue taxes from citizens?
Sir, it is a part of the modern political system under which the people of a country collectively decide to give taxation so that the government and the administration can do something, can provide better services to the people, and for example law and order, transportation, housing and other amenities like electricity, water, etc. So it's a collective assertion of the people to give taxes to the government.
What is taxpayer nationalism?
Sorry, sir?
What is taxpayer nationalism?
Sir,
This notion that since I pay tax, therefore I am entitled to certain things more than the people who do not pay equal tax. Do you believe that there is some rationale to such thinking? Taxpayers' money be spent as per the taxpayers' will rather than the citizens' will?
Sir, when a citizen pays tax, then certainly he or she expects certain amenities from the administration. But I would not say that those people who do not pay taxes are not entitled to those services, because the idea of taxes is also proportionality, that it is a tool through which the government is trying to reduce the inequality. So by taxing those who are earning more, we are trying to provide more services to those who are not who are not capable enough, so that they can also rise in the socio-economic hierarchy.
You are an IRPS officer.
Yes, sir.
You're supposed to do the HR for the railways. But if you look at last 2 years, I mean, we are getting that as if the officers in railways are running away from a sinking ship. They are they're trying to get out of the service if they get good opportunities. Why railways is losing that kind of talent?
Sir, I would say that many people, there are apprehensions that are raised due to the talks of privatization. Then people also have apprehensions because of the merger of services. But I do not feel that one needs to run away, because I feel that with evolving times, railways, in whatever manner it evolves, it will give all the officers opportunity to serve the organization and the nation as well.
You're already in IRPS. Tell me the women members of railway boards so far.
Sir, none that I can recall.
Why, despite being the model employer, railway is so performing so badly in employee diversity, and why there is this glass ceiling?
Sir, that is certainly a concern that we have. The female representation in railways certainly needs to be improved, and for that we need to make more progressive steps. For the glass ceiling, I feel that things are changing, and hopefully in the coming times we will have women in the board itself, and hopefully as chairman of railway board as well.
Thank you. So,
thank you, sir.
So you are a student of physics?
Yes, sir.
You are nowadays under training?
Yes, sir.
Look, training is what actually giving you a design in your personality regarding what formulation of policy and implementation of policy.
Yes, sir.
And whatever the requirement of railway or any civil services, material and mass that has been tested in PT, mains and interview. Your material is what good for civil servant, and mass is what adequate, and design is what actually training. So what type of design up to now railway has got success in giving your personality? Because whatever the material mass that was not properly formed. So what design up to now you have got from railway? Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, my training has both classroom programs and field trainings. So, under the classroom programs, we get to know about the various...
Where you have visited in field training? What are the section or sectors?
Sir, I have visited Kolkata, that is Eastern Railway and Eastern Railway. Then, sir...
Both. Sir, headquarter of Eastern as well as Southeastern Railway.
Yes, sir.
Make correction. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, I have visited Bhubaneswar, Visakhapatnam, which are East Coast Railway. Then, sir, Sukendrabad, which is Southeastern Railway.
Yes.
Then, sir, Chennai, Southern Railway. And, sir, I have also visited Mumbai, which is the headquarter of...
Have you visited any actually sector of what Indian Railway where standard gauge is in practice? Other than meter gauge, narrow gauge, broad gauge, we have standard gauge. Have you visited?
No, sir.
You are already in Delhi. This is the first area of standard gauge under Delhi Metro. Okay, my next question that is related to what actually BEPS of physics. You have to read BEPS.
Yes, sir.
And in BEPS you have to read what Hussein's principles, right? Pulses and BEPS. So how the knowledge of what BEPS and pulses of physics allow you as a civil servant, right, to do management of disasters caused by tectonic earthquake in Delhi and look tsunamis in coastal areas. How?
Sir, the knowledge of physics in respect of waves can, for example, in tsunami, I can tell people that we can predict the coming of a tsunami if we feel the water receding to a very large extent, because that can imply often oncoming tsunami.
How many sensors have been fitted in what Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea to predict tsunamis?
Sir, I will have to check upon that.
Because the headquarter of early tsunami warning system is Secunderabad itself. Okay, my next question is what related to nuclear physics. Look, India is of few countries in the world doing what nuclear physics diplomacy. We have what actually selected lower pressurized, capacity pressurized heavy water reactors for developing diplomacy, particularly for Sri Lanka and Bangladesh.
Yes, sir.
Why India has selected such developing countries, neighboring countries, some African countries, some Latin American countries, right? And even some Eastern European countries for nuclear power diplomacy?
So one reason is that by doing nuclear diplomacy, we are strengthening our neighborhood policy also, because Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are part of it. Secondly, sir, by acting as a responsible nuclear power, especially with regards to nuclear energy, we are also trying to strengthen our claim for membership in the nuclear suppliers group, which we haven't achieved yet.
Look, we have done successfully nuclear explosion twice, right? In last nuclear explosion, we did 5 nuclear explosion, and finally we got the status of subcritical test, and there is no need now for further nuclear explosion for designing nuclear weapons. My question is what is subcritical test, and why this has given us capacity to not conduct any physical nuclear test more for further designing of nuclear weapons?
Sir, subcritical test is basically that the nuclear test is not going to explode into an uncontrollable cycle that can cause a nuclear
Where
attack.
we conduct subcritical test?
Sir, where India conducted it?
Any country can conduct subcritical test if he or country having capacity of subcritical test. Data if you have, you can conduct. Where?
So usually countries prefer conducting it underground.
That is not subcritical test. Subcritical test always happening on supercomputer, advanced computer, because we have datas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the last question is what of mine is what, look, the CTBT and PT, both are related to what our nuclear physics, right? Why the CTBT and PT have become what meaningless in what present world? What's your opinion?
Sir, in my opinion, their relevance has reduced because many of the countries which have nuclear weapons, they have not participated in it, the treaties.
They themselves are responsible for, look, proliferation of nuclear technology.
Yes, sir.
In what actually as a secret agenda. Okay, thank you.
Come in.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sirs.
Good afternoon. Have your seat, Divya.
Thank you, sir.
Introduce yourself.
Sir, my name is Divya Shakti and I belong basically from Muzaffarpur in Bihar. Currently staying in Betia, that's in West Champaran district in Bihar. I have done my dual degree from BITS Pilani, which included BE in Computer Science and Masters in Economics. Thereafter, I worked with an American investment bank for 2 years before starting my preparation for UPSC.
So what are you doing right now?
Currently, I'm only preparing for the exam, sir.
Okay, Divya, you have opted only for 5 kinds of jobs.
Yes, sir.
Why not other jobs?
Sir, all the jobs I believe have unique opportunities that they offer. But sir, when I quit the job with my limited knowledge and understanding of all the jobs that are offered, I found that the jobs that I have opted for would be better. I would be more interested in them.
If let's say you fail to clear this exam finally, what is your plan B?
Sir, currently I don't have any plan B. I'll reappear for my another attempt.
Let's say if you exhaust all the attempts and still you fail to clear.
Sir, I'll think about it then.
Okay, you don't have a ready-made plan B.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as a master of economics, do you understand that the present policy stand of the RBI for last couple of years is moving the right direction?
Yes, sir. I believe RBI in the current situation of slowing economy is not only using the conventional measures but also certain non-conventional measures to boost the economy and provide a boost to the demand in the economy.
Which are the non-conventional measures they are using?
Sir, some of the non-conventional measures that come to my mind right now are Operation Twist. Currently it has announced long-term repo operations, and these are the two that.
What is Operation Twist?
Sir, Operation Twist is an operation in which RBI performs selling and purchasing of instruments. The only difference is in the term of the security that is being purchased and sold. So currently, RBI has purchased long-term securities and has sold short-term securities.
How it will impact the working of banks? Let's say I'm RBI, I'm purchasing long-term securities and offering cash for long-term period to banks and selling them short-term securities and taking back cash for short-term period.
Sir, its impact is twofold. First of all, the amount sold and the amount purchased remain same, so the net liquidity in the market is not affected. Also, sir, the price of any instrument is inversely related to the yield. So suppose if the government is buying long-term securities, its price will increase and the yield will decrease, which will provide long-term loans available at lesser interest rate.
It appears that it is being done basically to induce investors to move their money away from the bond market to the share market. If yield declines in the debt market, the investors have no choice, mutual funds and other companies, but to move their fund away from debt security market into the share market.
Sir, I need to go back and look at this, the exact thing that you are mentioning.
Okay. What is liquidity trap?
So liquidity trap refers to a condition in which the inflation and both the inflation and the growth rate, the inflation remains high and the growth remains very low. So it forms a kind of trap where it's very difficult to boost the demand. It is called liquidity trap.
How Keynes explained liquidity trap in terms of rate of interest and supply of cash, that is supply of money?
Sir, can I take 2 minutes to think? Sir, I fail to recollect the exact.
Where supply of money is increased in a normal condition, given a particular demand for cash, which is constant, and you are increasing supply of cash. Natural corollary is that interest rates should decline.
Yes, sir.
But the trap is that even if supply is being increased, the rate of interest remains stably high.
Okay, sir.
It's a trap.
Yes, sir.
Because people develop money holding urge.
Yes, sir.
RBI is reducing rate of interest for last couple of years, but the RBI's report itself says that interest rate is declining and investment is still declining, which is abnormal. Normal is that if interest rate is reduced, investment rate should increase. Now, interest rate is declining and investment is also declining. Do you think our economy is either into the liquidity trap or is close to, on the brink of liquidity trap?
Sir, I'm not sure if it is close to the liquidity trap, but there are various factors that are contributing to a non-increase in investment despite a decline in the interest rate. One of the reasons, sir, prominent reasons is the situation of the banks where NPAs were high and the banks were in a mode where they are not willing to very aggressively lend funds to the market.
Why?
Sir, because there is a double balance sheet problem, as it was mentioned by the economic survey, where the lenders and the debtors both have their balance sheet in a slightly poor state. The companies are not able to, the companies which had already taken the funds are not able to repay their loans, which is stressing the balance sheet of the banks, and they are not able to release new funds in the market.
Banks are in tight liquidity condition.
I think so, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So, student of geography, right? Look, and belong to Bihar.
Yes, sir.
Look, 2019 Southwest monsoon season. Just before Southwest monsoon season, there was Muzaffarpur syndrome, right? And just after or during what Southwest monsoon, there was Patna flood. My first question is what? Why after what onset of Southwest monsoon, suddenly Muzaffarpur syndrome has vanished? What was the reason?
So the research for the exact reason causing the onset of the acute encephalitis syndrome and its decline is not known, but it has been said that there are three factors, 3 Gs as they have been called, affect the condition of AES in Muzaffarpur. So Garmi is one of the 3 Gs, and it is seen, a general trend is seen that when rainfall, the first showers are received, the disease, it generally decreases.
Why Patna in particular targeted by Southwest monsoon for devastating flood? Why?
Sir, floods are part of a natural cycle of monsoon, and it is not that just Patna was affected. So the urban flood, which is an upcoming situation, particularly caused...
I'm talking about devastating flood, not talking about flood. So I'm talking about devastating flood. Was a disastrous. Flood is normal case, is not disastrous, not devastating. So what is the basic reason? What is specific reason for occurrence of flood, devastating flood in Patna itself?
Sir, in my opinion, as far as I can recall, the reason was that the drains were not very clear, and since it's an urban area...
It was also last year. It was not new. Drain was not clear in 2018, but there was no flood.
Sir,
not devastating flood.
Sir, I think I need to go back and look at it.
What is the concept of heat island? Do you consider across Bihar, the most important heat island is Patna itself?
Sir, Patna is the most urbanized place in Bihar. So heat island effect is most prominent over there due to the concretization.
Okay, second thing is what? Southwest monsoon stay for more than 1 week in Patna itself. So what is the concept of pressure gradient responsible for attracting Southwest monsoon in Patna itself? Why not Southwest monsoon move ahead? Why accumulated in what Patna itself? The normal course is going to move actually western part of India.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am not sure. I think I'll need to go back and look at it.
Look, we are experiencing 2 types of revolution. One is called green revolution and the second called industrial revolution. Industrial revolution is the 4th one and the green revolution is 2nd one. My question is what? First green revolution was not green and not revolution at all. Do you consider this as a true fact? Or this is a what largely true.
Sir,
It was not green and it was not revolution, and that's why we need second green revolution.
Sir, the first green revolution was successful and it definitely increased the total grain production in India.
My question is, why not it was green? Do you consider first green revolution was green,
Sir,
eco-friendly?
Sir, if we consider the environmental impacts of the first green revolution, the measures turned out to be a little short-sighted in the sense that the irrigation through tube wells was promoted in certain states.
Okay, second green revolution having wide prospect in Bihar, because second green revolution based on dryland farming as well as wetland farming. My question is, what are the districts of Bihar is important for wetland farming, and what are the districts of Bihar important for dryland farming?
Sir, the northern Bihar, the northern plains in the Bihar are suitable for wetland farming, especially.
No, whole western part of Bihar is dry, including your mother district. That is called what? Saran. Saran up to what? Western part of West Champaran, that is drought prone area, right? So whole western part, whole eastern part is what? Wetland. Okay, my next question is what? Kisan Chachi from Muzaffarpur is worldwide famous. Do you know who is Kisan Chachi?
No sir, I don't know about
You
that.
must know. Look, your hobby is what? Mithila painting. So we use Mithila painting in that area in Gidhari and Matkor. What is Gidhari? What is Matkor?
Sir, Matkor is basically Mati Korna, which is a process during the wedding ceremony where we go to a land and we dig it, and then we use the Mati for the other purposes.
So Mithila painting we use during marriage ceremony.
Yes, sir.
So what particular place we choose for painting of Mithila painting in a home itself?
Sir, it is the new room in which the bride and the groom are going to stay. We use that room for
What
painting.
particular color we use at that time? Color?
Sir, I think we use red or gear color to...
Geru color.
Gear, yes sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.